Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast between Madfrog and Shark here on Scrap Station. Here we have Shark spawning as the blue Terran player over here at the 12 o'clock position of Scrap Station. Meanwhile, we have Madfrog spawning over here at the 2 or 3 o'clock position as the red Zerg. So it is going to be Zerg versus Terran once again. Madfrog known for his mutalist play. Shark, I do not know too much about Shark. I haven't cast a lot of his games in the past. I have a couple of them I believe, but I don't know really much about his playstyle, if he has any real tendencies. So it should be a good game between these two players. I'm kind of excited to see it as this game gets underway. We'll see exactly what the strategies are going to be. So Shark should be throwing down a supply depot here in just a moment. There it is. But however, we do not see any front door action so far coming in from Madfrog. So Madfrog may be able to get some sort of baneling bust. However, Shark may be trying to respond to it by throwing down a barracks right here and then perhaps a factory right here, using that tech lab as one of those additional buildings to try to connect that wall in. We do have a drone now moving out, so an early drone moving out in order to just get some sight, which is kind of a surprise as we already have an overlord now moving out. So we do see that one SCV there, and now this front door will in fact have a barracks. So as this barracks is being completed, Madfrog knows that there isn't going to be some sort of proxy barracks reaper play, and now in comes this drone trying to deal damage towards that one SCV, however, coming in for some little bit of a help there. Will that drone be able to take down the SCV is the question. That drone, or the SCV, down to what, 10 hit points, and will currently just continue to sit there as a fresh, no, not going to be a fresh, one SCV currently trying to repair this one SCV, as now we also have an early hatchery being placed down by Madfrog. So Madfrog going for an early hatchery instead of an early spawning pool here, and we'll see if it pays off, because Shark did in fact go for an early racks, and he didn't even throw down his refinery yet. Shark could have thrown down another barracks and then try to push out with the very, very aggressive, now throwing down a bunker here. So with this bunker in this position, Madfrog does in fact see it, and so with that bunker in this position, some drones need to be transferred over. 3 drones now trying to make their way over this bunker, needing 15 more game seconds in order to be completed. And we're going to see how important that additional 5 game seconds will be. Will that SCB get taken down? Currently down to 32-30, and oh, will it be enough? And that bunker finishes just in time. There it goes. Now those drones trying to start pecking away with their claws at that bunker. That bunker, however, does have 1 point of armor, so these drones will not be able to deal that much damage. They fire relatively slowly, or attack relatively slowly, and now we see a marine now making its way over. I do not see any additional SCVs coming in order to repair, however, so this bunker should just be salvaged. Not exactly sure why Shark just doesn't salvage the building. There we go. Gonna be able to salvage it. Takes 5 seconds to salvage. There it goes, and there, pop, giving back 100 of those minerals. Once again, we do see a factory now being placed down, and then another supply depot there in order to finish off this wall. And this one marine trying to do some damage, trying to move and shoot against these drones. However, those drones do have a faster movement speed than a marine. 2.81 versus 2.25, so that marine has to be very, very careful. It may get shot down and be taken down by workers, and now these marines just coming back in. However, Zergling's not going to come in and join on the fight. The marine able to get off 1 drone kill, so that marine was worth that 50 minerals. However, a lot of micro and a lot of attention was needed. And now another supply depot. This front door is a little bit of a fail here. Let's see if any sort of building will be placed in this position. Perhaps a starport. If a starport is placed there, it will allow for some Hellion play. And now going for a command center there. So that command center, is it a complete wall? And no, it is not. So Zerglings may be able to run by here, and that's going to be a real issue, as these marines are going to try to shoot down and take down these marines, which are going to currently be running up this ramp. Will it be enough? So Zerglings now perhaps going to try to make it through. No, deciding not to try to do any sort of pressure, not trying to push through there. We do see currently 3 marines, and those marines deciding to finally pull back. Just taking a look at the harvester count. Harvester sitting at 26 compared to 21. We do have 1 Zergling down over here activating this Zelnaga watchtower, and some Zerglings gaining sight over here. So pretty much Madfrog knows exactly what's happening throughout this game. Hellion now moving across this map, trying to make sure that there is no sort of proxy hatchery, I guess, or any sort of proxy play, or any units hiding up here on this high ground, wanting to deal damage over here once that command center is done. So out moves this one Hellion. This Hellion, however, going to get quickly taken down by these Zerglings. Zerglings will be able to swarm it around, and that Hellion is smartly deciding to pull back. If it does get a splash damage off, dealing a lot of damage towards those units, getting another point of splash damage again. Will it be able to finish it off? Do not think so. Will all those Zerglings get taken down? 1 more down. However, that Hellion down to 5 hit points. 1 Zergling may be able to peck it at it enough and take it down. So these Zerglings just very, very smartly trying to see where it can try to take down that one Hellion. Hellion deciding to move back, deciding that it is not worth the game to play. So the army of Shark currently sitting at 400 minerals, and we do see some Marines now trying to shoot down this Overlord. Overlord down to 51 hit points, 30, 40. Will it be enough? It does not look like it, as that Overlord now deciding to finally pull back here. I do see an armory, but no starport. Oh, starport currently over here, and now training up some more Vikings. So those Vikings will be able to shoot down those Overlords out of the sky once again as an orbital command, moving into position at the natural expansion. Harvester count 40 compared to 26, so Shark definitely behind at this stage in the game. Will he be able to call down enough mules? It doesn't even look like he will be able to transfer that many SCVs from one main base to the other as these Hellions finish off the rest of these Zerglings. No Infernal Pre-Igniter research just quite yet, only Stim Pack, and now training that first Thor. So that first Thor now moving out. We do see these Hellions moving out, making sure that there is no expansion over here on the bottom left-hand side at these gold minerals, activating this Zelnaga Watchtower. So Madfrog needs to transition into tier 2. We currently see him at tier 2 now. We should probably be seeing some sort of Spire play coming in just a moment, as Spire is very, very strong on this map just because of the short flying distance between these two locations. However, as Thors are being trained and Thors are being massed, those Thors will be able to take down those Mutalisks fairly easily. So Zerglings sitting here, we do have a couple of Hellions trying to move out. There are 3 Queens here. Those Queens deal a lot of damage, damage 4 times 2, and because they are not a light or an armored unit, they don't take any real bonus damage except for, I believe, from an Archon, which does extra damage to biological. In over here, Zerglings now going to try to get a quick surround, quick swarm. There it goes, finishing off the rest of those units, and those Zerglings deciding to pull back. 600 mineral army for Madfrog, 850 for Shark, however 375 invested in gas. We am looking for where that Thor is. One Thor now in the mineral line of his own base here, making sure that if any Mutalist play tries to come in, that he's able to handle it. Taking a look at the production tab, that Spire still needs about another 30 game seconds to complete. We do have 1 bunker down here, and now getting another supply depot to try to limit the amount of surface area so those Zerglings are unable to get any real claw damage. And I thought we were going to have a Thor ship for just a moment, but it does not look like it. Thor deciding to pull back, expecting some sort of attack at that front door. However, it is just because the Spire has not yet been completed. So now that the Spire has been completed, now training up 10 Mutalisks. So 10 Mutalisks currently being trained. We do see the combat shield and a second Thor now being trained as well. Will those 10 Mutalisks be able to take down these 2 Thors? No weapons upgrade or armor upgrades for those Thors. So those Thors will be taking, I believe, 8 damage per attack from those Glaive Worms. But there are currently 2 Thors, and it really depends on how Madfrog stacks those Mutalisks. If those Mutalisks are stacked very, very poorly, all 12 of them can go down very quickly just because of the Thor splash damage. Out moves now, and these 10 Mutalisks going to try to put a little bit of harassment here. We do see 1 Thor, a bunker over here, so I do not think that any sort of Mutalisk play can happen over here. And now we have another supply depot over here. In come these Mutalisks now trying to come back over here, perhaps deal some damage. However, Marines and will be able to come back over and join in on this fight. 1 Thor down to 160 hit points as these units continue to pull back here. We do see the Mutalisks trying to take down these destructible rocks over here, so these rocks may get taken down very, very quickly and very, very easily. And now in comes 1 Thor, all of these SCVs being brought over, and now the Zerglings going to try to do a run by, and able to run simply by and now surround this 1 Thor over here. We do see some Mutalisks now trying to push in and trying to use the magic box technique against this Thor. Thor down to 336 hit points. However, there are some SCVs constantly repairing, and now the rest of these stimmed Marines were able to finish off those Zerglings that were trying to put in a little bit of pressure. So army wise, 1100. So Madfrog most likely just sitting on 11 Mutalisks, and that is it. One of those Mutalisks very, very low on hit points, down to 13, as we see Madfrog taking this gold mineral expansion over here on the bottom left side. So the Mutalisks deciding to return home, perhaps to try to get healed. We do see a decent amount of Queens, or we did see a decent amount of Queens earlier. So yeah, coming in, getting that transfusion there. It's going to be more Mutaling as these Zerglings are going to be able to be swarmed up even further. Not taking down these rocks over here, as we have 1 Viking continually on patrol looking for some additional Overlords to shoot out of the sky. No real Overlords being just wasted around anywhere. Madfrog being very careful with his Overlord placement. However, he's sitting on 2,500 minerals. That is a lot of resources to be sitting on compared to Shark's 500. You also see that Shark has the larger army, but a lot less in terms of gas army at this stage. Back over here, 1 Viking quickly getting taken down by a swarm of Mutalisks. Mutalisks able to finish that off. We do see that Banelings are going to be in the near future, as the hooks are currently being upgraded and more Thors now being trained. 2 Thors at a time off of 2 factories, and now no weapons upgrade just quite yet, or even any armor upgrades. These Mulists may be able to come in here, do a little bit of splash damage. However, 1 missile turret and 1 Thor able to deal so much damage, taking down one of those Mulists as it retreats once again. Over here, Zerglings now sitting in the center Xel'Naga Watchtower, perhaps waiting for some sort of action, waiting for something to do, as we now have more and more Mutalisks currently being trained. Additional 10 Mutalisks to add to the 13 Mutalisks that Madfrog already has, so a swarm of 13 Mutalisks will be coming in momentarily. However, no level 1 weapons upgrade just quite yet, as these Marines are going to get quickly taken down by those Zerglings. So Zerglings using those claws, able to get through that hardened armor of those Marine suits, and now these Mutalisks going to perhaps try to engage in over here. Actually, no, not quite yet. Taking a look at this army, we currently see 23 Mutalisks, and now also researching burrows. So Marines, Marauders now shooting those units out of the sky. Will those drones be enough? Drones now being transferred over here. We do see 1 Queen taking a fair amount of damage. Are we going to get a transfusion is the key question. Does not look like it. This 1 Queen just soaking up so much damage. However, the Banelings coming in, splashing, dealing so much damage there, and this 1 Queen able to stick around at 10 or 11 hit points. So once again, nicely done. Army-wise, 3,000 for Shark, 2450 as these Mutalisks now going after this medevac, able to shoot it down once again. So nicely done so far. There was a harassment over here with that medevac. However, the drones were able to be pulled away, and these Mutalisks able to push back that dropship. Now over here, production-wise or army-wise, we have 23 Mutalisks continuing to be massed. You can see more and more and more being added to this army. 60 SCVs for Shark. So Shark currently sitting on 60 SCVs. Madfrog sitting on 71. So Madfrog with that economic advantage, running off of 8 gas. So by running off of 8 gas, he can just continually produce more and more Mutalisks. You can see he's just waiting for that spawn larva ability. However, we have 6 Thors now moving out, and that might just be critical mass on Thors. These Mutalisks now going after more and more of these Marines here. However, 6 Thors able to deal so much splash damage, counter those Mutalisks so easily, as these Marines and Marauders now using Stim, able to deal a lot of damage here. So these Marines and Marauders, it's really difficult to use the magic block technique against Marines as well, because you need to start to fly over a group before you hold position. 1 Thor quickly getting taken down there, as the rest of these SCVs, Sharks, factories, and barracks are going to get taken down. However, both sides now doing a base race. Marines and Thor is now pushing out very, very slowly. Madfrog losing a lot of these overlords, quickly losing 3 overlords, and now currently supply locked at 133 over 18. Mutalisks deciding to return home, trying to perhaps save this expansion, but I do not think it's going to be in time. There are too many Thors. 6 Thors doesn't even need any sort of weapons upgrade. Or sorry, already has the weapons upgrade. So those Thors are now dealing, what, 14 times 6 is 56 damage per 14 times 4 is 56 damage per round of attack there. So not able to quite shoot down a Mutalisk after 2 rounds of attack, as it's 120 hit points as opposed to 110. And now more and more of these Thors now moving in. Mutalisk now flying over on top of these Thors. Thors, however, doing a lot of splash damage. Marines also using Stim, able to just shoot those Mutalisks out of the sky. And even though a valiant effort by Madfrog cannot use mass Thors against, mass Mutalisks against Thors and Marines. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed this 1v1 replay between Madfrog and Shark here on Scrap Station.